What's up with the squad? Back with another video. I seen the titles going down. Make sure you hit the like button, hit that subscribe button for me, please. Definitely apologize for dropping so late. I've had a night. I actually wasn't going to drop any videos. But y'all know me. When I see something, we gotta speak on it. Definitely gotta speak on that. Says here, this from at sizzle_Sarah says, imagine protesting ICE in New York City instead of, the mayor who's actually running the city into the ground, which truly that's what it looks like to me. Truly looks like it to me. You literally have Zoran, and it's more news to it when it comes down to it. It's definitely a lot more that I gotta show y'all because it gets crazier. Check this out. So y'all see, we don't have to see, any more of it. They making a whole bunch of noise and not saying nothing at all, which is definitely ridiculous. You got to hear, and one thing about this, as I continue to see individuals that truly I definitely say that are, how could I put this? I guess you can say just waking up and just realizing what's going on around them. You have a lot of individuals that don't, and I see it all the time. I see people that I'm friends with, whether it's on Facebook, whether it's on Instagram, wherever it is. And you see how many people would just follow, a lot of fake news, follow a lot of things, and it's definitely sad, especially people that really don't know what they're talking about and just doing it because of a friend or a family member or doing it for attention is definitely sickening. This guy right here, this is Don Lemon. This guy right here, and trust me, I know a lot of y'all, I don't like the guy. But this New York City man tells Don Lemon that he loves Trump admin. He loves the ICE raids. I'm not gonna lie. We got cameras everywhere, and I thought it was gunshots. I think it was a car backfiring repeatedly, I think. But I'm telling y'all, I was about to have to end. I was about to have to end the video. I'm not gonna lie. I'm telling y'all. But I'm sure, Chris, she's about to be texting me in a minute, asking who that was. Because it definitely sounded like gunshots, like right there in front of our home. But we got cameras everywhere. Security, all that. But anyways, you got it right here. And this is an individual, obviously letting Don Lemon know,
How do you feel about
what's important?
About the ICE raids?
The who?
ICE raids. Like immigration.
I feel good about them.
Yeah, you want them to crack down?
More, yes.
You do?
Yes, been wanting it for years, all my life.
And what about them, roughing people up?
Nah, that shit crazy. Don't put your hands on nobody. That's crazy. Don't hurt nobody. Do it the legal way.
But that's what they're doing, though.
That shit ugly. Then no, I don't feel great about that. Don't hurt nobody. At the same time, get them out of here. Get them all out of here. Please and thank you. Trump 4 more years for that.
Did you
just for that? Just
Did
for
you
that.
vote for him?
No, hell no. I can't vote. I lost my voting rights when I was 22 years old. I apologize.
You went away?
Yeah, for assault and battery.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So you said 4 more years for Trump?
Just because I want him to concentrate on nothing but immigration and getting them out of here. Just for that.
You don't think they
nothing
contribute
else.
to the economy at all?
Of course they do. Of course they have. At the same time, think about the people who wasn't able to contribute because the immigrants was there. You know what I'm saying? The people who live here and who was born here, was raised here, who has the same skill set that they have, but wasn't able to do their job because they were there illegally to do it. Yeah. Now the people who's here legally, like me, I guess you, him, can't do that job because them people who are illegal are doing it, which is not cool for us.
But you know they're having trouble filling jobs. They can't find people to fill jobs.
Shit,
they're getting rid of so many people.
Okay, what kind of jobs are they? You know,
all over in the service industry and farming.
Because it's like everybody got to reset. They're gonna reset themselves. That's all they gotta do. Reset themselves.
The farmers are complaining about it, that they want Trump to ease up a little.
I feel like what Don Lemon does and what he's continued to do is that he's trying to confuse this man, you know, into pulling him away from, you know, instead of just speaking, instead of just asking questions, he's trying to convince, and he's trying to, you know, manipulate this man to you know what I mean? It's again how these individuals work. And it's definitely sad because you can definitely tell like this man ain't going for it and he's sticking by his word. And I absolutely love it.
Because they thought they were just going to do the violent people. They need undocumented immigrants in order to get food to your table.
It's not true, bro. It's not true.
No, that is true.
That's not true, bro. That's not
you don't want to get facts.
There ain't no American born and raised here that won't do the job. They crazy as hell. I know lots of them in my projects. Trust and believe me.
Why aren't they doing it then?
Because they don't have the opportunity because it's not there. They ain't going down there just to get
there
rejected.
are people who can't keep their restaurants open because they're getting rid of their undocumented workers, and they're trying to get workers here that are American born, and they're not taking the jobs. They don't want those jobs.
Oh, they don't want them jobs. Okay, I don't know nothing about that, man. All I know is that I'll get a job. I'll take the job. I'll do like 15, like the Jamaicans. I have 15 different jobs.
So as you see that, you know, this guy isn't going for it. He sees that, you know, obviously a lot of people are truly, you know, waking up, you know, to a lot of the things that's going on. So let's just like Lemon lie with ease. Don is trying to wake up. Says Don is trying to wake up from his leftist slumber. Note, just looking for clicks. Let's see here. Lemon trying to spew lies, but the guy is smarter than him. Well said, this guy is honest and stands his ground without being disrespectful. Hopefully he will get one of the new open jobs. And I do pray that he gets, you know, a job. You know, one thing about it, and I truly believe this because I have family members, you know, that are truly, you know, that's, you know, behind bars and stuff like that. And there are people that are trying their best, you know, and, they, you know, you make those mistakes, you know, and you mess up. I'm not one that's about to be like, oh, yeah, you know, you don't deserve to work here and you don't deserve to do that. You know, I'm a child of God, you know, so I try to, you know, just it's one of those things, you know, those chances, you know, on a lot, you know, you do have to be, you know, on some type of guard when it comes to different individuals and what they have done. But a lot of individuals, you know, they see Trump is in office, they see a lot that's going on, they see what people try to do to you, and a lot of these individuals, they want to work. You know, they truly want to work. They want to make money. You know, they want to do, you know, so one thing about it, I pray that this man, you know, gets that job. And, you know, people are asking, you know, President Trump to go for 4 more years. Most definitely. Mind you, it's New York City. Mayor Mamdani signs an executive order mandating that ICE have, says, and it is a warrant. Dang, so a warrant to enter New York City property. One thing about it, I truly do not believe, truly don't believe it says he has absolutely no authority over ICE. This is all political theater. And it truly is. It truly is, because this is stuff that he thinks that, you know, is going to happen. Everything that he says is truly a lie. I'm going to just say it like that. Everything that he says is truly a lie. He doesn't go, he's one of those people that make something sound real good and you believe it. Obviously, we're not. But, you know, he has his voters believe it, and they're heartbroken, you know, because, you know, and it's definitely one of those things that people got to wake up. People got to wake up. People got to realize, you know, because I don't like to see, you know, individuals, you know, heartbroken. And so I know people are going to be in the comments, well, they did it to themselves. And truly, you know, when they vote, you know, for individuals, they're not listening. I mean, that's obviously what you're going to get is individual, you know, like Mamdani.
Right here in this moment, I shall sign an executive order that will uphold our city's protection not just of our fellow immigrant New Yorkers, but of all New Yorkers from abusive immigration enforcement. This order is a sweeping reaffirmation of our commitment to our immigrant neighbors and to public safety as a whole. We will make it clear once again that ICE will not be able to enter New York City property without a judicial warrant. That means our schools, our shelters, and our hospitals. That means we will protect New Yorkers' private data from being unlawfully accessed by the federal government and stand firmly against any effort to intrude on our privacy. No New Yorker should be afraid to apply for city services like childcare because they are an immigrant. This order mandates that essential city agencies are complying with city laws and directs them to conduct thorough audits of all policies guiding agency interactions with immigration authorities. And it will establish an interagency response committee so that...
He just talks a whole lot of BS that he knows is not going to go through. He knows it's not going to go through. I think it's one of those things that he tries to give out to people and says things to make... I don't get it with this dude. I truly don't get it with this dude. And it gets worse, as the video, goes. Not only that, and he thinks that, I guess things are going to go his way when it comes down to ICE. It's truly not. New York City Mayor Mamdani calls for no charges against the knife-wielding man who allegedly charged cops. Me personally, I don't think it's allegedly. I mean, it's literally on camera. And he says his handcuffs should be removed. I'm telling y'all, it literally gets worse. And y'all probably think, oh, reckless. Like, what are you talking about? I'm telling y'all, it gets worse than this.
Queens District Attorney is expected to bring charges against Javed Akbarati later today. I'm just wondering if you talked to the Queen District Attorney about that, if you talked to the family. I'm curious what you would say about it.
So I think I caught the bulk of your question. I have not directly spoken with the district attorney. I will say, however, that no family should have to endure this kind of pain. What they need right now is care, dignity, and support. Jabez should not be prosecuted by the Queens District Attorney. His handcuffs should be removed.
The Queens District Attorney is expected to bring charges against Javed.
He obviously wants, and that's I can't say that I'm surprised. This is the same person that doesn't care any type of way about, officers, law enforcement. So I can't say that I'm surprised. I just find it crazy how people literally would treat President Trump and Trump administration and individuals the way that they do when they're literally protecting real life. Like, you seeing it on camera. Like, you seeing this stuff on camera, on a body cam. I truly don't get it. Check it out right here. This dude, he was speaking facts.
Zohran Mamdani defended a man who tried to stab a police officer after seeing this video. That's not a man who is dumb or likes bad policies. That is a man who is intentionally destroying the city he runs. You really think, as educated as he is, that he actually believes that his policies are helping? New York City is in a state of shambles, and nothing about that is by accident. You guys swore in a man on the Quran, which literally instructs its followers to lie and deceive in order to advance the Islamic agenda, and then goes on over 100 times ordering to slaughter and desecrate all of those who do not observe Allah. This man is dead set on destroying the fabric of Western society, and doing so with a smile on his face. Every nation that has normalized the anarchist, anti-Semitic, and anti-Christian rhetoric that he supports has collapsed. So if you have any survival instinct, you'll see it's quite obvious that the U.S. being weakened is fiscally and spiritually profitable for a man who swore into mayoralty on the Quran.
Yep. So, I don't know if y'all don't see, but you truly have a pattern. You truly have a pattern. show y'all something. The things that's going on is truly sick. It's sad, and I truly don't understand it. You have individuals, legal aliens, selling goods on the streets in New York City. Y'all seen Nick Shirley. He's visited, multiple times. You've seen how bad the snow is, the trash. You see that you have a mayor that does nothing but lie and speaks good, like everything is well. You clearly have here more fraud that can actually, potentially happen. It is a post by Latina Brown. Mayor Mamdani wants the extra money to hook up his radical Muslim buddies with funds and contracts for their nonprofits. Read between the lines. Don't give them another dime. This is a post by New York Post. Mamdani miraculously found $5 billion for New York City budget after pushing doomsday scenario as excuse for tax hike. People have to realize what these individuals are doing each and every day. They're doing everything. They're literally doing, and it's literally, this is the same person that every time he gets in front of the camera, he asks for more and more money. I'm telling you, it's literally everything that you see that's going down in Minnesota, you definitely see it in New York City. And y'all, well, you got a point, Recklezz. I definitely do. This is Fry and Mamdani. As Latina Brown commented, a hot mess. It truly is. Mayor Fry made a post, said, today I had a meaningful conversation with New York City Mayor about the reality local governments are facing. When federal government targets immigrant communities, it's cities that feel it first, and it's cities that step up. We're building a coalition of mayors ready to lead. This is indeed a hot mess. I'm not going to lie. I have to save. I be wanting to say things, but I have to watch what I say on here, y'all. And I try my best. Check out what Mayor Fry just said, y'all.
What are you looking forward to talking with Mayor Mamdani about?
Obviously, we're looking to determine some of the next steps here. We want to make sure that what happened in Minneapolis does not happen in other cities and states throughout the country. We want to make sure that our immigrant neighbors are protected and mayors work together. We're all operating in the reality business, and the reality is what just happened with Operation Metro Surge is not constitutional, is not okay, and is anti-American.
We want to make sure that what happened in Minneapolis does not happen in any cities. Y'all may tell y'all exactly what's about to go on right here. And I pray that it doesn't. Not on some wood. I pray that it doesn't. But what they're doing leads to it. Mayor Fry is literally bringing, and mind y'all, from my understanding, is that things have been, I guess, a little better there in Minnesota. President Trump, obviously haven't pulled all agents, but pulled, a good helping. And now he's bringing it to New York City. And I truly, truly hate that because it's like it's already bad regardless. But it's one of those things of bringing drama somewhere else. And it's causing more issues when they're already having drama. You know what I mean? It's definitely sickening. I'll tell you that. Check it out right here.
I want to bring up Mayor Fry. Today, he said this. Today I had a wonderful conversation with NYC Mayor about the reality of local government and governments are facing when federal government target immigrant communities. It's cities that feel it first and cities that step up. We're building a coalition of mayors ready to lead. But the way that he decided to take on the president is much different than the way Mamdani did it. He went to the White House and had a conversation, and apparently, according to reports, Byron, text back and forth with the president of the United States.
Well, I guess Mamdani has one advantage, and he's the mayor of the president's hometown. But you're absolutely right. The Mamdani relationship with President Trump and the Fry relationship with President Trump are entirely different, because Fry's basically depends on the F word, and Mamdani has searched for some areas. There aren't that many, some areas where they actually agree.
So, somebody said that they are still only mayors and they have no leverage over the president. Let me tell y'all something. I know, that they don't. They obviously don't have that. But at the same time, they're powerful enough to incite that violence. They're powerful enough, to say things that can lead to damage, that can lead to violence. And that's not something that, I would want, or I'm sure y'all would want, especially where you're at. It's nothing that it's just sad. One thing about it, it is two different, I'm not going to say two different people, but I definitely say two different situations. You got Mayor Fry that absolutely doesn't listen and don't agree with anything that Trump has to offer. Zohran Mamdani is iffy. But at the same time, when you have these two individuals together and Zohran Mamdani already is going against President Trump administration ICE, I don't think that this is something that is well. And I only think that it is something that will definitely lead to more negativity when it comes down to America. One thing about it, and I'll say this and I'll say this and I'll say this over and over, I do support, when it comes down to ICE. Says to all agents, keep doing your job. The real American people stand with you. And I truly do, and I know y'all do. Make sure y'all stay tuned for the next video. Let me know your comments and thoughts on this. Catch y'all next one.